What you're looking at, right? Should we go back for another demo? Let's do it. Go on then. What are you up to?
I like to play with this one.
Okay.
This is intricate, and this one die cuts more intricately than the one you've just shown, actually. So practically, there's some areas that are like embossing areas, like the centre of that flower. So this is quite nice, this design. So if you die cut everything, all these outer elements, obviously if you leave the frame out, then that's going to cut into your card. Or you can use the frame as well as your card sort of base. So stick them down so they're nicely in position. And then you can run those through your machine. So I can do that for you so you can see how it cuts. So I'll place that in there.
Oh, so running this through the die machine.
Oh, stiff at the end. It's cracking because I've got it on square. Oh, there you go.
The cracking's always good on a die machine. Never
I like
worry
the
about
cracking. Okay, so then you get this piece here, that's the waste piece, and then you need to just poke out all these holes, which will give it a tap.
Oh, it's like quilting.
And then when you've done that, you come out with this piece, because I've spent time tidying that up. And then it scores the outer edge and die cuts the circle here. So the idea is that you fold it, and then it creates a card blank for you. You can stand it up like this way, so this is the front, and then you've got this decorative piece on the back.
Could you turn it into a set of gates?
Well, I thought that actually. I thought about, because I love this piece, and I thought about sort of snipping it and using that lovely, is there a lamppost die as well with it?
Yeah,
I did
the
think
lamppost
about
die
that.
is the end of cool, the lamppost die.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I did think about that. But what I'd like to do is to incorporate this and make a bigger card. So I've got a 15 centimetre card blank here. And I quite like to use it this way up. No, let's go for this way up.
Okay.
Quite like and use it on the front of the card. But I'd quite like to have that sort of cut element as well. So what I'd like to do is to try and cut my card front. So I want to try and, if I can lift that up. That's it. See if I can just draw a pencil line around there. So I just want
Loving the pencil.
Cut this out. Don't have to be too accurate, but I do like to be neat.
He does. Very neat crafter, our series.
Oh, a bit more. Head for that spot there. And then I'm going to cut this top section away to create that sort of effect. So what I need to do here then is to snip this off. So I've got then this piece.
Oh, I like that bit just on its own now.
This piece on the front, yes. And it's nice because I've got this border round as well, and I could even use that on the back. But I just want to give it a bit more interest, and I've just got a panel of vellum that I'd like to slip in underneath, just to sort of soften it and add more texture. And I've just left a little bit around the edge, and then also left my card blank showing as well, just to give it a bit more interest. And I might do the same for the back as well. So I've already pre-cut a piece of vellum, again with a slight border around the outside that I can stick onto there. So I'll get my glue stick and just pat it on. Vellum doesn't like too much wet glue, so a dry glue like a glue stick is ideal for vellum.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes. And then you've got to be careful where you apply the glue on this surface now that that die cuts on there, because you don't want to cover it totally with glue. Otherwise you're going to see it through the vellum.
we could do this with our coloured vellums and things like that.
Oh, yes, that would be nice, yes. Yes, I'm crafting a rather white card.
No, it's not, but I can see it all, we can see everything.
OK, so I'd actually quite like that element.
It's very bridge-esque.
Yeah, that element sort of there still. So what I've done now is I've die cut just that top section with the outer frame on another piece of card. I've removed this bottom section, so I've just die cut that.
OK.
And then that's quite handy because it actually, you know, cuts the circle piece. So if I just chop the bottom off.
So if we did that twice and flipped it around, would that cut the circle out the middle?
I'm not sure if it's going to be exactly there. You might have to have a little bit extra.
OK.
That looks like it could be more of an oval shape to me, so you might have to separate it a little bit, I think. So what I want to do now is to incorporate this within here, and then I've got this lovely lacy top piece.
Ooh.
So let's glue that in place.
I like the circle. It reminds me of sort of a sunset over a sty wall.
Yeah.
Sort of horse jumps.
So I need to line it up. I'd like to line it up so it's exactly the same. Yeah, so that looks nice and neat on the back. That's it. And now I can incorporate my vellum onto the back of this.
It does look like a trellis as well. You could do it on the side and then use the poinsettia or the flowers that we did in the first hour, climbing up it.
Yes, yes, a nice card base. That's it. It's got wiggle room, this glue stick. And now I can hide all that workings. I've got other die cuts stuck to the back and place that on there. So let's do that. I just like layering up papers and making things look more interesting.
How do you come up with your concepts, though, Sue? How do you come up with the design? Like, what do you see when you see these? Do you see this straight away, or do you just cut stuff out and have a play?
I sort of find out what it's intended for. So it's intended for that sort of top fold card. But then I love to think, well, what else can I do with it? Or I'd like to actually do something else with it.
OK.
And I like to give it some thought. I do take a while to do my crafting, but I love that sort of thinking process about it. So I quite like that as a different sort of scenario,
That's
really.
nice, I love that.
So let's decorate the middle part,
Okay.
and I'd like to have a play with this lovely...
Oh, the poinsettia.
Yeah. These dies are great because you get a bunch of petals. You do need both of them, the smaller ones on top of the bigger ones. You've got your leaf die, you've got your centre flower die, and some more beautiful little extra foliage bits as well. So I'm going to cut these out of vellum, the petals, and I'm going to leave those for later. So die cut those out of vellum and you get these. Let's bring in some darker background so you can actually see them. So there's the bigger ones and there's some of the little ones. And I'm going to decorate them with these little stamps. And these are nice because you've got one slightly bending one way and one slightly bending the other way.
OK.
So I'm going to stamp with some picket fence. I'm going to keep to the white theme. I'm just going to go mad with a white theme.
I don't think I've ever seen picket fence before, the colour.
I like picket fence, it's great. So I need to make sure I've got it bending the right way on each of your petals.
What looks like emboss?
It just gives that nice delicate effect. It's this one. Turn it around, that's it. And then switch to the other stamp.
It does, yeah, it looks like you've done white work where you haven't really done the white work.
Yes, yes. Let's get it the right way up. That's it. Yes, nice and effective. Allow it to dry. I think it dries a bit slower on the vellum. But I just want to get a nice sort of delicate poinsettia just in the white, like it's been deeply frozen.
If you manipulated the flowers in another way, could you turn this into another flower, or will it always be a poinsettia?
No, you definitely could. yes. Yes, you could use less petals. You could just have a bunch of leaves if you wanted to.
I suppose so, if you did them in the browns and colours like that. I had some beautiful cardstock on my happy hour earlier from Pink Frog that was brown autumnal colours. You could do sort of autumnal leaves.
Yes, yes. Or not do this, because this is very indicative of a poinsettia flower, isn't it? But you can, yes, just do other patterns on those petals. OK, so let's build up the flower. So I've got some more petals here that I've already stamped. So I need a collection there. I've die cut the big ones again, and then I've got the small ones here. So let's build up the flower.
This is the bit, you can't really see much at the moment. When they come together, that's when you start seeing the flower.
So you lay two across each other. You get instructions on the packaging, which is really useful as well. And then you use the spare one just to fill in the gap. I'm going to hold that shut. Do that again for another tier. You don't have to do this second layer. I'm just being quite elaborate with my poinsettia. That's it. I should have another petal somewhere, but it's gone walkabouts. And then do the same with this little one. How am I doing for time, Adam?
We've got 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh.
This hour's flown by again.
Ooh. So this one's a little more open. And then add the spare leaf. It's nice to have the 5 as well. Makes it look more natural. Hold that close. OK, right. I'm going to cut these 2 sections then, the leaves out of glitter card.
OK.
Ah, there's my other petal there. And, of course, the middle piece as well, out of glitter card.
Oh, look at them in glitter cards.
I've got them twice. This glitter card's gorgeous. It's Marianne Design card as well that was in the show on the 28th. So if anyone grabbed that, it's just gorgeous. It's this, it's lovely. Right, let's bring our card base back in. So build up our snowy flower. So I'm going to use these circles to die cut and create more layers. So I want to cut with glitter card this one, the bigger one, and then that gives us this layer here, which we'll just stick on. I'll just pop some glue in the middle. Don't have to glue everything, because I quite like the way it picks up, creates a bit of texture. And then out of the same stiff card, the next layer. And this is what you get. And again, you've got added pattern
That's
here,
nice.
but it's a sort of a stencil thing where it embosses gently as well. So I'm going to add that. Gone back to white because I want to add the leaves. So I've got that white layer to break up the glitter. So I'm going to quickly
love this card. This card's beautiful.
Quickly stick these down. 5 to match the petals. These all go the same way, but you can also sort of vary it by having a couple more closer.
Could you turn them the other way? As in, when you die cut them out, is there a certain way?
Yeah, you could do. I like to press down the
edge.
edges so it looks like it's been die cut, yes. And then I'm going to grab some foam pads and add my petals. Before I do, I'm just going to pinch them down, crease along that stamped line, press them down.
We've got 2.5 minutes.
Grab a foam pad, pop it in the middle.
Grab a foam pad.
Add that to it. Do the same with this one. I can't bear to have the 4 petals. Now I've found my 5th petal, I'm going to add that. Fold these down as well, just pinch them in your fingers.
That's nice.
Layer it up with another foam pad. And this allows room for those petals to have their shape. Offset that. So
Do you know what you need, Sue? You need our 7-day saver, Phil Martin's pair of tweezers.
Oh, I love a craft knife.
I can tell, but you're putting me on edge.
Putting you on edge, did you say?
Ends tonight. Ends tonight. They change in the morning, 8 p.m. The good little. You get 3 sets of tweezers and 2 picky upper tools.
I do like my craft knife. And then just to hide that foam pad, we've got these lovely central pieces.
90 seconds.
I'm just going to fold them up. You stick the other one on as well, just to add some more depth. And then I've got one here that I've completed with the 2 layers.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's just a real white, sort of frozen, wintry card.
Oh my word, that is absolutely beautiful. Look how that pops though.